afternoon. This is Rupal Chaube.
This is Surbhi Kaul.
And you're watching CityCast.
Welcome to the second edition of CityCast.
Our first story today is about the increase in the number of women facing domestic violence cases in Bangalore. Our reporter Surbhi Kaul has this story.
The police records of Women's Police Station in Banashankari depicts a 40% increase in domestic violence cases against women. Assistant Commissioner of Police stated that most of these cases involve dowry-related abuse, marital disputes and any quarrel with in-laws leading to physical abuse.
It may vary from small dispute regarding the running of the house, tindi, uta, coffee ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು lot of issues will be there.
Lack of social support and upbringing of the man in a marriage are some of the reasons of domestic violence against a woman.
No emotional support towards each other. There's no emotional care. There's no emotional connectivity towards each other.
Besides pandemic being the main reason for increase in the cases, the cultural stigma among women from informal sector continues to be the main reason.
That there is a lot of cultural stigma which is still holding on women from reporting. For example, most of the times the domestic violence is normalized and the women from an informal sector or a woman who is a daily wage laborer accepts her husband hitting her, considering it to be a form of possessiveness.
She asserts that it still remains a far-fetched dream to see a decrease in the cases unless a sensitive environment is not established in all police stations for a woman to feel confident enough to report the case. This is Surbhi for CityCast.
While there is an increase in the number of cases under POCSO, our reporter Samriddhi tells us that many of these cases booked are against consensual sexual relationships.
A study by Vidhi, Center for Legal Policy, says that in over 40% of POCSO cases, accused are friends or romantic partners of victims. Experts assert that since there is no provision for consensual relationships under POCSO, a lot of teenagers get booked under the Act.
When people as young as 13 and 14 are engaging in sex, there needs to be a lot more awareness around the issue that's created, and it needs to be a sustainable program where young people are continuously reminded that sex under 18 is a crime.
NCRB data shows a 42% increase in the number of POCSO cases reported in Bengaluru. Age-appropriate sexual education, a safe environment to talk about sex, and strict conviction procedures are measures that can improve the current situation. The police explains that not all cases get reported, especially the ones in which the family members are the perpetrators.
Which have this feeling that, one has to go through the legal processes. When they come forward, they feel that they get noted. They have that kind of fear psychosis that is going on in their head. Adults or the parents, they fear that there will be some kind of threat from them.
The Law Commission of India recently recommends in a report to retain the age of consent to 18 as it might affect actual cases of child abuse. Samriddhi Singh for CityCast.
Karnataka cannot meet the demand for eyes to be used for transplantation. Our reporter Ishta Tyagi tells us why all the eyes that are donated are not used for transplants.
Health and Family Welfare Department data shows only 60% donated eyes are used in transplantation because many of it are not in a condition to be transplanted. Ophthalmologists say not all corneas meet the criteria of transplantations.
Some are accidents are there. So accident means already it is damaged. Some are ventilator patients will be, that infiltration will be held. That corneas we can't use.
Only the eyes with the good quality of tissues are selected for transplants and the rest are used for research purposes.
We use it for optical grafting or transplant. We use it for therapeutic or for tectonic purpose. And training, we use it for the younger doctors who have passed out, and we train them using these eyeballs.
There are total 30 eye banks in Karnataka, which are not able to fulfill the demand of eyeballs for transplantation.
Around 1.5 million people are waiting for eye donations. I think about 35 to 40,000 eye donations happen every year. There is a huge gap.
Number of recipients waiting for transplants is greater than the number of donors. Research of National Library of Medicine says to get better quality of eyes, a research donation registry could be the possible solution. Ishita Tyagi reporting for CityCast.
We will be right back after a short break, after which we will tell you about the illegal constructions in the buffer zones.
Wildlife rescued by customs often die or get infected. Here is a report by Sunena that tells us why it is difficult to rehabilitate these animals.
Wildlife experts say that rescued animals often end up with infections or they lose their lives because of the adverse transportation conditions they are trafficked in. Forest Department officials say exotic species are sent back and some are rehabilitated at Banerghatta National Park. Doctors at Banerghatta Biological Park mention the challenges with rehabilitation.
48 species of all reptiles, animals and birds has been captured recently in one of the houses. So we have to immediately create a lot of stress because they will be transported here in small cages itself. We may lose some of the animals.
According to NCRB reports of 2014 to 2021, Karnataka is one of the top states to have reported the greatest number of wildlife smuggling cases. The general manager at PFA Wildlife Rescue and Conservation Center says that most of the shipments come from either Bangkok or Thailand. He says that the only way to curb smuggling is by sensitizing people.
Trade has widened, that's how they're coming to Bangalore. And there are also many animals being reported by smuggling by sea route.
Although there are laws that protect animal rights, the solution to curb wildlife smuggling lies in stopping the breeding of exotic animals. For CityCast, this is Sunena Tawayek.
Houses and apartments on the buffer zone of Rajakaluve violate guidelines, which is illegal. Our reporter Pavan Kumar has this story.
Building houses on buffer zone can lead to floods and also no place for expansion of drainage in future. A resident whose house is in buffer zone says they built in this location as the cost of land was lower.
ಕಡಿಮೆ ರೇಟಿಗೆ ಸೈಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತ ತಗೊಬಿಟ್ವಿ ನಾವು ಪಕ್ಕದ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋದ್ವಿ ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಸೈಟು ಬಫರ್ ಝೋನಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಸೊ ನಾವು ಇದು BBMP ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮದೇ ಓನ್ ರಿಸ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ.
To a judgment by National Green Tribunal, only vegetation or parks can exist in buffer zone. The buffer zones are meant to absorb the excess water and prevent floods. During monsoon last year, there were floods in areas like Devara Bisanahalli, Marathalli, Vartur and Bellanduru in Bangalore.
Sir, constructions ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಬಫರ್ ಝೋನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡು BBMP in the last year carried out anti-encroachment drives and issued notice to different real estate developers as well as IT parks for its encroachment.
The buffer zone entitles not to have any construction between 50 to 20 meters. The logic behind it is saying that the water flooding and over flooding should not happen. The violations done by the buffer zone occupants should be penalized heavily.
To prevent floods in monsoons, the drains should be taken care by the authorities, says expert. Watching CityCast, this is Pawan Kumar.
Next, we have a business story. Consumers are switching to vegan cosmetic brands and preferring it over regular brands, which have increased its market value. Our reporter Rupal has the story.
Market research report shows that the vegan cosmetic industry in India is valued at 2,800 crores in 2023. Vegan products do not use any substance derived from animals as basic as milk or honey. Consumers are opting for it as they believe it is cruelty-free and good for their skin.
I've invested in a vegan product because they are environment friendly and they do not harm the animals.
Earlier, searching for vegan brands was difficult as it was expensive and most regular brands use products such as bee wax, glycerin or collagen derived from animals.
All the ingredients which I use are plant-based. I also use almond oil in my products, which is also something natural. So there is a demand for vegan products and my sales were increased.
Indian brands are coming up and investing in their branding.
Especially after the COVID period, people have become more aware and the market is becoming more sustainable there.
Cruelty-free beauty standards and eco-conscious choices have resulted in a healthy market for the Indian vegan cosmetic industry. Rupal Chaube for CityCast, Bangalore.
We will be right back after a short break.
We now look at the increase in the cases of traffic violations in the city. There is an increase in the number of cases registered against not wearing seat belts. The cases recorded till August are more than double of last year. Our reporter Priyanka tells us more.
As per the reports by Bangalore Traffic Police, the number of booked cases increased from 1,23,000 in 2022 to 5,32,000 recorded till August 2023.
For the first offence, 500 rupees is the fine for not wearing the seat belt. We have installed artificial intelligence based these cameras immediately picks the violating vehicles number.
Many new vehicles come with warning systems reminding drivers and the passengers to wear their seat belts. Some people use clips to block the seatbelt warning sound sent by their vehicle.
Seen a lot of cab drivers, using that clip on the seatbelt because the pain happens to avoid that.
Traffic management expert explains how these cases can be reduced.
To club active and passive enforcement together. Cameras are capturing it. Then at the same time, this information must be sent to the police persons physically available on the road.
So, as the expert says, enforcement and awareness of road safety rules should come together to stop people for violating the rules. Reporting for CityCast, this is Priyanka.
The number of cases registered for wrong parking has increased in Bengaluru. Our reporter Akshay Lal has this story.
There is around a 20% increase in the number of wrong parking cases in 2023 when compared to the previous years. Citizens say they have no other choice but to park on the road as there are no proper parking spaces allotted.
Thing is, for main problem is coming for four-wheelers. So you have to find any places which there is a parking space, or you have to park in a different space and you have to walk so many kilometers.
Traffic police say the parking violations are happening more now as there are more vehicles in the city but not enough facilities for parking. Illegal parking often leads to the narrowing of already narrow roads, which further leads to worse traffic.
He will find front wheel or back wheel clamped by the wheel clamp. So usually he calls the number which is mentioned on the wheel clamp, and the person from the traffic department goes and collects the penal fine.
Urban planners suggest that multi-car parks and proper parking spaces could lead to a decrease in the number of violators.
Purpose car parks be created away from the congestion centers or congestion areas, or somewhere near a metro, so people can park their cars and they go use the public transport effectively.
Police officials say that the BBMP is planning on constructing more parking lots in the city. For CityCast, this is Akshay Lal.
In Bangalore booked for not following traffic signals have shown an increasing rate this year. Our reporter Jomel will give you more details.
According to the Bangalore Traffic Police, the vehicles booked for jumping traffic signals have shown an increase by 157% in the year 2023 compared to last year. Drivers say they do not wait for the signals, especially on roads with multiple signals.
A lot of traffic signals, and suppose in order to travel 1 kilometer, sometimes it takes more than half an hour, and we don't have that much of time to waste in traffic.
Police say they have installed automatic number plate recognition system with cameras to recognize the vehicle.
Technique, automated number plate recognition system, which is in the camera, it will recognize the vehicular number plate. So we are able to generate cases along with the proof, so that the people don't argue that he has not jumped the signal. So because we have the proof, they end up paying the fine.
Answer also automatically generated. Along with the cameras, they also have traffic police at most of the traffic signals. Traffic experts say there is a need to do more than find the violators and emphasize the need for better training and awareness of traffic rules.
Through that, we just gather information that how many people are violating the rules or jumping traffic. Okay. But basically, we need to work it at the route basis when we are giving driving licenses.
According to the traffic police, the underage drivers have contributed in the increase of vehicles booked for jumping traffic signals.
That is all for today.
For more stories, you can visit the CityCast website. Thank you for watching.